about the basics of meditating and getting into a comfortable meditative space. So I'm pretty sure the sitting posture might be the foundations of a traditional Zen meditation pose. I'm not really sure. This is a compilation of what I have been taught over all these years. And about a year ago, I did go into a Zen temple for meditation, and I took the offered meditation class for like a refresher on exactly how to sit. So I'm just going to say this is mostly based in Zen. Every body is different, and the whole basis is learning how to work with your body, learning what your body's telling you, and to help create the natural structure of our spine so that we can sit comfortably. That's one of the biggest parts of meditation, is just being able to sit comfortably, because when your body is talking to you and your knee is like, oh, this hurts, or you all of a sudden realize your entire leg is falling asleep, or I'm just saying the things that happen in my body. My collarbone feels like it's really tight and my shoulders are like, wow! Meditation is a trip, because there's a lot to get used to and there are so many thoughts and things swirling around. So let's just try to get comfortable in a meditative pose first. So, I'll do my best here. You might have to find another video or play around a lot with your own props. I think mostly is coming to terms with the idea that you can sit comfortably in a meditation space. It's just going to take time, and you don't get to determine the timeline of how long it takes for you to get comfortable. So mostly just come into it feeling confident and excited, and don't run in these circles with the mind being like, I'm never going to figure this out. Sitting this way just isn't comfortable. This doesn't work for my body. It does work for your body. It does work, and you just have to have the grace and the patience to be able to figure it out. So, and don't give up until you do. That's my number one tip. So, I'm going to explain what works for me. I like to have a little blanket that my ankles can rest on. And this is just like my cushy, lush setup for home. You know, I adjust in situation to situation. So I have a little blanket that my ankles can rest on. I have an old couch cushion that I got from a chair somebody was throwing out that I like to put. And then I bring in my actual cushion this is my meditation pillow. I just got this at like a crystal shop in Canada one year. And so I come here, this is where I'm going to be sitting. I think I might need to tilt up the camera just a touch. Okay. So I come to sit, and I'm sitting with my bum on kind of the edge of it, so that my pelvis, because our pelvis is, if this is the pelvic bowl, you want it to be tilting down ever so slightly to help create this natural curve that you have in the low spine that allows you to sit up nice and properly. You don't want the pelvic bowl to be completely flat, because it's not going to help support that arch that comes in the spine. So finding that little edge here, and again, every body is different. I like this height because it works for my hips to be above my knees in this way. You can sit on multiple blocks. You can sit on so many pillows. The opportunities, the options are endless. So then I come down, and ideally you want to try and fit so that your shins are parallel with each other or the floor. So just striving for that type of space. Sometimes I like to tuck one foot on top of the calf here. It'll take you a long time, but you will be able to find exactly what works for your body. I had a friend once describing about how well she got to know somebody during a long meditation retreat because she learned how he sat every day. And I thought that was so fascinating, and it made me realize how I pretty much sit in the same every single day too. In the beginning of my sitting meditation practice, it really was challenging for me. My knees hurt really bad, my limbs did fall asleep, my shoulders still get very, very sore. But it's all just finding what works for you and helping to support your body and assist your body, and gaining that awareness of how the mind hooks onto things and can't let them go. Because this clearly isn't a life or death situation, but you might try and talk yourself into the fact that it is. It's not. So we're here, finding that comfortable space with the legs. If you need to, it might take some adjusting. You're going to have to suffer through a few uncomfortable meditation sits just to figure out if what's working for you what you've set up for yourself will work long term. Oh my gosh, my words. So, when you find this space, you're sitting up nice and tall. You're kind of pressing through the crown of the head. And when you press through the crown of the head, even just tapping lightly on the crown of the head so that you can feel that perfect little round spot in the top of your head, you're pressing up, lengthening. It lengthens the back of the neck, and you can even feel the chin tuck slightly. So just sitting regular, imagining that length through the back of the neck, immediately you're coming back with the chin just a little bit. So you're envisioning the chin over the navel. Go ahead and just relax the shoulders. Maybe pull them up for a moment, and then just letting them hang loose, maybe shaking them a couple times. Really just like the perfect structure that they are. They're just hanging off of the collarbone here. Arms just come to rest. They can rest on the knees. They're nice and light. In a traditional Zen sit, you come, and I believe it's the left hand on top of the right, and the thumbs gently come to touch. So you don't have like a little point in the thumbs or a divot. It's just very lightly the edges of the thumbs come to rest. And they rest right here in the lap. And the arms, the elbows can come out to the side a little bit. Some people feels like that is best for their body. Again, all of these little cues you may have to adjust. So, you're sitting up nice and tall. You can wiggle your toes just a little bit. The face is starting to relax completely. You're pressing up gently through that crown of the head. Feeling the belly button hug into the low spine. Protecting the low spine. Keeping you from overarching too much. And just noticing how you feel here. We're just noticing. Noticing if you can sit with it, noticing where the mind is focusing, noticing if you're very fidgety and can't hold still at all. And our energy changes moment to moment. If you feel restless in this moment, try coming back at a different moment. Try at a different time of day. There are so many factors continuously at play. And you come to relax the face completely, letting the tongue come away from the top of the mouth, the jaw separates slightly, just creating this entire sense of relaxation in the face that then trickles down the neck and through the rest of the body. Taking another breath. One practice of meditation is that you are simply just sitting and watching. We spend so much of our lives looking outward in the world. Our meditation practice is the chance to look inward at ourselves, at our bodies, at our beings, and just see where we're at, what we're doing. And it feels so good to just slow down and be here with the breath in the body, with nothing else to do, and to just be in, bask in our natural state of calm. Because when we invite the mind to rest on the breath, hearing that breath in the body, just watching the breath, inviting it in, we're able to experience that natural state of calm. When we're able to tap into that space, we are often met with feelings of peace or bliss or joy or love. But what keeps us from that space are our thoughts. And we live in a world where our thoughts are continuously running, and we're encouraged to keep them running, and we're pulled outside of ourselves to keep meeting others that have thoughts, and it's just a world of thoughts. And when you try to be quiet and to sit down and be with yourself, you're going to be met with the world outside that has lived in your mind for a very long time and will not stop talking. And it is incredibly overwhelming, and it is very frustrating, and this is what keeps people from passing through the veil here of coming home to themselves, to recognizing the beauty in this. So I want you to know that it's not an easy practice, but I think the confusion that people get lost in the most is thinking that you're trying to obtain this quiet, peaceful mind, and so people get pissed when they realize that their mind isn't that way. Let's get something straight right here, right now. Your mind is not designed to be quiet. It can be quiet, But the mind itself is a tool for you. It alerts you of things going on. It casts worries and stresses and fears and tells stories for us to be able to communicate with the world and know what's going on. It's a blessing. So when you're sitting here with yourself and all of a sudden you realize the mind is taking you somewhere else, notice. That's the first step. Notice. And just smile and simply take a breath and come back. Every single time, again and again and again, you notice and you take that breath and it brings you right back to your body. You can even say thank you. I like to say thank you to my mind sometimes so that it reinforces this support system I'm trying to build with it rather than being at war with it. Thank you for reminding me of all the other things I have to do today. Thank you. I know that. We'll remember it together. Taking a nice deep breath, and now I'm here now in my body with this time that I have set aside for myself to be here and meditate. This is why I also like using a timer when I meditate, and slowly just starting with a timer to help with the mind, and then you can adjust the time and get away from the timer eventually over time as you adjust. But starting with even just whatever you can, honestly. Is it just one breath in the morning to start? That's maybe 10 seconds. Is it 30 seconds? Is it 3 minutes and 33 seconds? 5 minutes and 55 seconds? Whatever you want it to be. But just start slow. Show up regularly, because that's where you need it the most, is this practice every day. Not just when you feel like it, and that's the hardest part. But the more you show up, the more you practice, the quieter the mind gets. And as we say in yoga and holistic living and all of this kind of natural world, intricate space stuff, is that you can't just practice it here in silence and not have it seep out into the rest of your life. It's a very powerful practice. It's one that has completely changed the course of my life, and I'd be very curious to see how it resonates with you. Please feel free to share what kinds of struggles arise for you, because they're going to. But remember that this is your journey. You just have to commit to showing up again and again and again, to getting to know yourself better. Remember that if you think you've hit the end or there's something just doesn't work for you, it just means that you haven't found the way that it works for you. Don't give up. Keep trying. Adjust as much as you need to. Sit on more cushions. Sit on less cushions. Another thing, you can always put blocks and pillows under the knees, under the hips. Adjust as much as you need and want, because it's your body and it's your life, and you have to find what works for you to be able to enjoy it.